7:30 now. Good morning, everybody. I'm Heather Brown. It is the CBS News Minnesota Morning Update, so be sure to get yourself going with us here this morning. We got the news. We got the very latest on the weather because it's going to be a nice day ahead. It might be a little bit windy. Might need to hold on to your hat out there. We can already see it coming out strong here in the trees in downtown Minneapolis. But the humidity is low. The dew points are low, so it should be a nice day. So maybe you want to head out to the park, maybe head out with the kiddos somewhere before it gets too darn hot later on this weekend. Should be a great day ahead. Okay, we wanted to talk about this morning. Most flyers would agree that a long trip in economy maybe isn't the most comfortable way to travel. I mean, especially if you're really tall. But there's one airplane seat designer believes that his design could change that. You can see it here for yourself. So this has no people in it. So check it out. There it is. The one is elevated above the bottom row there. What do you think about this? It's a double-decker style. So the designer who came up with this says that it came from his frustration of the current lack of legroom. That's where he got the idea. This is really where I think the whole picture changes. The woman in the bottom there, right? Yeah, she gets more legroom to stretch her legs in there, but then you're stuck. It doesn't... I just wonder, do you feel like that thing's going to collapse down? Are you? Might a little be claustrophobic. A lot of people online saying, no way, I'm not going to sit down on the bottom there. And thinking, yeah. I mean, look, she's putting her feet out. Looks good down there. She's got a big smile on her face. But I don't know. I'd love to know what you think, right? It'd be great if you could sit up on the top. That'd be awesome. But sitting down on the bottom? Do you think this designer was just a really tall person and said, this is how we're going to do this? It's not, this isn't a thing yet. This is all just a plan. That was just a, prototype there too. But we'd love to know what you think. If you're watching here on Facebook, comment to us and we'll show some of those comments later on in the show. We do have some dramatic new video from Wisconsin this morning of a man filming what looks like a tornado from his car. Take a look here.
Oh boy. Oh, I'm really in it. There it is, right there. Oh my goodness. I was in a tornado, guys. I was in a tornado.
Oof, seems pretty excited about that. Luckily, this guy's okay. Yeah, it's scary though, dangerous out there. I did see the storm flip semi-trucks right in front of them there. And this morning we are getting a better look at some of the damage from a tornado in Wisconsin. National Weather Service says that a large and extremely dangerous tornado was spotted in Toma and Mauston. A lot of buildings damaged, plenty of trees knocked down, power out for thousands of people. Fortunately, though, we have not heard of any significant injuries or deaths. So Ramsey County is hoping that a small tool will help keep kids safer this summer. County employees plan to hand out 1,000 free gun locks. You can find them at the service centers in Maplewood, Roseville, and St. Paul. The lock stops the gun from being fired or loaded, and so the idea is you would keep kids safe if the kids did happen to get a hold of it. County says if you do want one of these free locks, go to one of those service centers, as we mentioned, Roseville, St. Paul. You can go ask for it there. Young kids might have access to a COVID vaccine in just a matter of days. The FDA panel voted to authorize the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccines for kids as small as 6 months. CDC still has to weigh in here, though. But if they do and they go ahead and approve it, which has happened before, the shots could be early next week. Governor Walz says that Minnesota's healthcare providers will be ready. It's a shocking discovery at a Minnesota rest stop. This here, you can see, is a car. And inside, it has 47 cats. So this was found yesterday morning. This was off of I-35 right near Harris, Minnesota. So there was a heat warning here. So the person who spotted the cats called for help. Animal Humane Society says that the owner recently lost his home and was living in his car. He is cooperating with investigators. Now, thankfully, all of these cats will be okay. Thankfully, that person called. It didn't get too hot in that car. And all of these cats will actually eventually go up for adoption. An update on the unprecedented flooding at Yellowstone National Park. So the northern half of the park got the worst of the damage And that whole thing might not open up for months, that northern part. You remember this picture, too, of that building going in along the river there. Officials say that the less impacted southern loop, though, that could reopen as early as Monday. Big deal there because so many people go out and visit Yellowstone in the summertime. This morning, we are learning more about self-driving Teslas that were involved in hundreds of crashes in less than a year. This is all the focus of a new report that's coming from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. So automakers reported nearly 400 Autopilot crashes since June of last year. Teslas were involved in nearly 90% of them. It's far more than any other automaker. Honda reporting 90, Subaru 10. But an expert with the autonomous vehicle safety says that just looking at the number of crashes does not tell the entire story.
And the real question is, how much are they crashing compared to how many miles are being driven on autopilot? And this data doesn't tell us that answer. So you have to be careful before jumping to conclusions.
Right, you got to look at rates, huh? So the experts say that the point of this report wasn't to rank safety, but if you think about it, there are more Teslas on the road that are autonomous vehicles compared to anybody else there. So the chances are, if you are taking a look at that rates, the Teslas will be more likely to be involved there. But what they want to do is they just want to point out features or functions that would need more safety regulation. So Ford is recalling millions of vehicles that could roll away when they're actually in park. So far, there have been 4 injuries reported. So this recall involves almost 3 million cars between 2013 and 2021. You got the C-Max, the Edge, the Escape, Fusion, Transit, Connect models. Now, owners of these affected models will be notified starting on June 27th. You might want to check your attics or your basements today because you could have the chance to get paid cash for your old toys. There's a guy here in town, he's known as the Toy Scout, and he's paying some big bucks for your vintage Barbies, G.I. Joes, comic books, lunchboxes, I mean, anything at this point that you might have. His name, Joel McGee, and he's a leading expert on collectible toys. McGee says that he buys millions of dollars worth of toys every year and then restores them and sells them to collectors.
Everybody says, well, what's the hot toys? Star Wars, G.I. Joe, little Hot Wheels cars. In fact, there's a $100,000 Hot Wheel car here today. Master Universe and, trains, cowboy western. The list is endless. I always tell people it all depends on what era you grew up from, and you always want those things from your childhood.
Wait, what? Rewind there. $100,000 Hot Wheels car? What's that thing made of there? Well, Joel has got a diamond there, as apparently. So he'll be at the Courtyard Bloomington by the Mall of America today. He says, don't you try to clean your stuff yourself because, he'll fix it up. Bring it in any condition. Big news this morning for Beyonce fans. It appears that new music is on the way. Queen Bee announcing overnight her new album. It's titled Renaissance. It's going to drop July 29th. Now, this will be Beyonce's 7th solo album, following up to her chart-topping Lemonade back in 2016. A lot of people online talking about this one. It's the first image of Ryan Gosling as Ken in the live-action movie Barbie. Yep, there he is. Bleach blonde hair, 6-pack abs and all. Gosling makes a great Ken, right? I just can't get over his hair, though. It's amazing. Barbie, playing by Margot Robbie. She's going to star alongside Gosling in the title role. Now, we don't need to know much about the plot for this movie. I mean, does the plot even matter for this movie? Look at these two. It's amazing. The cast, though, includes comedians like Will Ferrell, Kate McKinnon, and Issa Rae. The movie is set for release next July. So you have to see this picture from the Minnesota Zoo here. Check out how one of the llamas, just cooling off, just chilling out in the hot weather earlier on this week, parked right in front of a fan. I think that's something a lot of us are going to be doing on Sunday and Monday. Oh, boy. All right, let's get to today's talker. I want to remind people what we're talking about. We're talking about this double-decker airplane seat concept where you have the lower one sort of back behind, sort of staring, I guess, at the back side of somebody who's up there in front of you. And we wanted to know, is this better? Is this something that you would like to fly in? And Todd saying, I don't care for flying to begin with and rarely take a trip where it's necessary, but that would be a big no from me. Yeah, Todd, I know, right? Diana, that would be very claustrophobic to me. And what about trying to get out for bathroom breaks? That would be awkward, especially if you were the middle person. I mean, do you literally like climb over them, climb under them? That would be tough. What if it was a stranger? I mean, they'd have to climb out. I don't know. It'd just be kind of a mess. Oh, Becca, oh my goodness. No, I am claustrophobic just looking at it. What about the middle seat on the bottom? Yeah, that's the worst. I would die, says Becca. Pam, I don't think it would be a good idea. I remember when there was more room on the plane. Yeah, especially behind the bulkhead. I remember when you could stretch out your legs way back when. Oof, I don't know. Just a plan, but from the feedback here from our friends on the morning update, I don't know how far this plan is going to go. Thanks everybody for commenting to us this morning. It's fun to be here with you on your morning update from CBS News Minnesota, your only local streaming news source. I'll see you back here tomorrow.